I'm officially in Spain, specifically on one of the Balearic Islands, and it took me 2 full days to get here from where you last saw me, which was in Caen, France. And I woke up in the morning in Caen. I took my morning really slow, and then I took a train that was an hour and 15 to Toulon, as the bus to Barcelona was cheaper if I just went a city over. Ended up doing that, and the bus wasn't until 10:40 p.m. I had time to explore Toulon. I did find a place where I could store my luggage. It did cost 12 euros, so once I got there, I dropped my bags off, and then I went to the grocery store to get chocolate croissant, orange juice, and I sat in this garden and ate that and figured out what I was gonna do in Toulon. I ended up walking the streets and went in the old town. These buildings were so pretty because they're all just a bunch of different pastel shades. It just felt magical and colorful. There was also random street art, and some of them even had descriptions. It was all in Spanish, so I had to use Google Translate. And then, of course, I came across a church. This church was not as cool as last week's church. It was still neat to go inside. It was really dark inside this church. I don't know why. And after leaving the church, you know what I do best. I like going to the top of a hill or a mountain to see a view. I made my way to this gondola. It cost 8 euros. Now, I don't know if this is bad that I take advantage of this, but in Europe, they do student discounts, and they also do for ages 8 to 24, 8 to 26. It just depends the area. I'm 28, so I never technically qualified, but since they point to it, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I just nod. Some places it'll save you a lot, some places it doesn't save you that much. Specifically, this one saved me 2 euros, which in my opinion, that's a chocolate croissant or a Coca-Cola. And don't get me wrong, if they don't point at one, then I just automatically let them know that I'm the adult. But if they're the ones to point to that price, does that make me a bad person? I got on the gondola, we were packed in there like sardines, and it was so hot. So we made our way to the top. The view was beautiful. All I knew at the top was the view, and there was a World War II museum, but the World War II museum was a very small building, and it was pretty expensive, and then it had its own platform viewing, and for me personally, I didn't feel like spending the money on something so small. There was a bunch of different walking trails, so I started walking the trails. I came across this sanctuary. It was inside the mountain, like a mini cave. I went inside there. That was cool because I didn't know that was up there. And then I continued walking on the trails. I saw a sign for a zoo, and when I came up to the zoo, it was definitely a smaller zoo. Did not go inside the zoo, but I continued walking the trails. There was a cafe and a restaurant. The cafe was closed, so I went to the restaurant, but I got a Coca-Cola, and she brought out a glass with a lemon in it, and I knew that was a thing, but I've never tried it, and it was actually really good. And then I need to start making my way back to the gondola because I had to pick up my luggage by 6:30. While I was walking back, I noticed there was a cross in the distance, and I'm kind of bummed that I didn't have enough time to walk all the way there because I know that view would have been amazing with the cross. At least I got to see it from a distance, and I made my way back down, picked up my bags, and I was dying. I was dying so bad. I was repulsively sweating, and I made my way to the train station because the train station was right next to the bus station. At this point, I did not care. I laid down on the train station floor. I was a sweaty mess, and honestly, I picked a good spot. I didn't even think about an outlet. I just wanted to take the bags off, lay there for a minute because I thought I was gonna pass out from the heat. Since I had so much time to kill, I ended up booking my ferry in the hostel that I was gonna be staying on while I was here. I edited some videos, I edited some photos, and then 10:40 rolls around, and you want to know what doesn't come around? The bus. Eventually the bus came. It was around 11:15 when it showed up, and that bus was an 8.5-hour bus ride. It had various stops on the way, and we were dropping off people, picking up people, and technically it said it was a sold out bus, but no one sat next to me the whole time, which was great because I was able to spread out and try to get as much sleep as I could. And then next thing you know, you hear the bus go stops, and then we would wait for 20 minutes. He would turn it back on, and then it would go again for about 10-15 miles, and then it would make the noise again. It would stop. The bus broke down. Yep, the bus broke down. And at this point, I'm like, thank goodness the ferry's not till 9:30 p.m. because I would be stressing out if I was on a time crunch. The bus driver spoke Spanish, couldn't speak English. The one person that could speak fluent Spanish and English decided to take a train because he was in a rush, and then everyone else either spoke French, Spanish or English. There was one other girl who could speak a little bit of Spanish, so she ended up kind of taking over. They called for a new bus. A new bus came, so we all got on the new bus, and then we made it to Barcelona. It ended up being around 11-hour bus ride. And since I had time to kill in Barcelona, I wanted to do some laundry, but first I stopped at the grocery store and I picked up a chocolate croissant and I picked up wipes because I knew I wasn't gonna have a shower for 2 days. And after I was sweating so bad that whole previous day, I wanted to wipe down. I got those things, made my way to the laundromat. The laundromat was all updated. All the machines were new. This whole system was new. It was very clean. As the washer was going, I sat outside and enjoyed my croissant because there was no air conditioning in the inside. And then I put my stuff in the dryer, and as that was going, I was kind of figuring out where I was going to store my luggage so I didn't have to lug it around and I could explore Barcelona for a little bit. I found this place that was close to the ferry port. I dropped my luggage off there and it ended up being 11 euros. I just ended up walking the streets, going into multiple shops. There was some very cool alleyways, and then I came across yet again another church. But this church you had to pay to go in, and honestly I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna admire it from the outside. And then I came across this area where there was all these pigeons and people were willingly putting their arms out and wanting them to land on them. It was actually disgusting. I had one pigeon peck at my foot and that was enough for me. I'm gonna be completely honest, my first impression of Barcelona was it's kind of disgusting. It smells, so many smells, and not good smells, bad smells. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But since I also had to pick up my luggage at 6:30 from this place, technically they said they could hold it till 8, but since I didn't know how the ferry worked, I wanted to make my way to the ferry, and I'm glad I did because you had to pre-check in on the inside. And so I did that, and there was a restaurant right there, so I decided to sit there and have a glass of wine. It was $3. Really cool seeing ferries come in and leave and seeing cars in the shipment containers load off of the ferries. And I thought the ferry that was right there was the one that I was going to be getting on, but it wasn't. We ended up having to take a shuttle to the other side of the port, and then we got on there. And I set my expectations very low for this ferry because it was $20 for an 8.5-hour ferry. I don't know what I was expecting, but there was different rooms with seats, and then you could also book cabins. You could book a shared cabin. It was a little over $100, or a private cabin that was almost $800. Honestly, the reclining chairs were pretty spacious. I didn't even sleep there, but from the little time that I did sit in that seat, it was nice. After I got to my section, I put my bags along the wall where you store your luggage, and then I wanted to explore. I went to the deck. They had a DJ booth with music going. There was a snack and drink bar, and people were just having the time of their life. And then since there was a restaurant, I decided to go check that out, and I did in fact have food, and it was expensive. It literally cost the same amount as my ticket, and you got so much food. I had pasta, pork, 2 rolls of bread, this chocolate pudding cake, and then of course a Coca-Cola, and I did grab an apple as well. And I sat and ate. The ship didn't take off yet, but then they made the announcement. I made my way to the deck and watched us sail away. When it started to get later, the music was still going. Where my room was, above that was the DJ booth, so you could really hear the music. There was a bunch of kids crying, and people were blowing up twin-size mattresses and laying them in between the reclining chairs. In the common areas, there was padded benches and chairs and outlets, and people were laying on the floor, making beds out of the chairs. I decided to go to the restaurant area, and I noticed people were also starting to lay out on the benches, so I claimed a bench and I slept on that bench, and I'm so glad I did, because if I would have slept in the recliner, and after doing the bus ride and me messing up my neck, it was good that I was able to lay down, and I got a few hours of sleep. Since I woke up before we were even pulled into port, I decided to use the wipes, and I wiped down. I also went and brushed my teeth, and I just freshened up before getting off the ferry. And then I had to take 2 different buses to get to the hostel, and since I arrived to the hostel early, I obviously couldn't check in, but they could hold my luggage, and unfortunately at this hostel I had to pay 5 euros for them to hold my bag, which to me is a little ridiculous, because if I'm already staying there and I'm already paying, I don't know why you can't just hold my bags. Or it could be like a deposit. I give you the $5 and then I get the $5 back, but I don't know. This place is actually really nice. So this is a really fancy hostel. The whole inside super clean, super aesthetically pleasing. Staying in a mixed dorm, and then the bathrooms are detached. There is a sink inside the room. We have officially made it to Palma de Mallorca, and this behind me is insanely pretty. It's the Palma Cathedral and it's massive. Ended up changing out of the dress. I still have the bathing suit on, but I felt so disgusting from wearing that all day yesterday and then sleeping in it. I ended up putting on this shirt and the white shorts, and I'm already sweating so bad. That looks really cool. And that goes up to the cathedral. I don't really know what this goes, so let's go see. Okay, that's super pretty. Couldn't talk because there was a guy swimming and collecting the coins. I was just down there on the other side. The water is so pretty and looks so refreshing. So big. And here looks so cool. I made it to the back side of the church. But now let's go to see what this is. Oh, horsey. Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful in this little garden. For now I'm leaving the Palma Cathedral area and this garden area, and we're gonna go to the old town and walk that. If you know me, I don't really plan anything, but I just want today to be chilled and relaxed and getting the way of the land over here. And I think tomorrow there's gonna be a lot more walking, nature, things of that sort. So this car is so cute. We're gonna go into this place. It's Ancient Bass and there's a serene garden and it's $3.50. The garden part is really pretty, but this, are you kidding me?
Of the base, they wanted us to make room,
I feel like the
which
camera
was
doesn't
very
do
important for the
justice for
scene.
this wall.
Then,
I always feel like I have to whisper. Look how pretty. So crazy. This door has a little horseshoe on it. I'm pretty sure that means good luck. Everything's so aesthetically pleasing. It was so quiet in the ancient bath that I just got nervous to filming, but I got some really good photos. And then I'll also insert a photo I took of more history of the place, and you can pause to read if you're curious. Now I just turned this corner to this. So cool. I ended up taking a photo of that on Google Translate, and this is what it came up with. Very interesting. The rain is gonna be here any minute. I can feel it. First off, the sculptures, but the building behind it, I have no idea what it is, but it looks cool. Of course, we're gonna go in. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. Hold on, look at it. Okay. There's different ones. I will say these windows are cool though. Whoa! Look at that! That is so pretty. Oh my gosh. You have a lovely clock right there. But seeing the cathedral from over here and the archway, that is so cool. It has been a while since I last updated you. It started to downpour rain. There was lightning, thunder. It even started hailing. Yes, I did pack my umbrella. I was in a store when it started coming down, and even people with umbrellas were getting drenched. It was extremely windy. I waited it out, and then I continued going into shops, and then I wanted to get some tacos, but the one taco place was closed, and then I noticed there was a Taco Bell, so I go to the Taco Bell, and it was one of those where you do it yourself at the kiosk, and I was waiting, and the girl before me, there was one open. I was like, oh, are you in line? And she said, there's Thunder. And she said, oh, that one's broken. And then we just got to talking. She's from Las Vegas. She's also a flight attendant. After we ordered and grabbed our food, we ended up sitting together and just talking, and it was really nice. And now I made my way to this beach that has so much sea glass. It's sea glass galore, and I found this place because I read this girl's blog and she circled it. And you guys, let me just show you. You can see it all. There's so much, like there, like there's just so much. I can't. It's crazy. What? So now, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Are you joking me? I can't. Now I'm gonna be at this beach for a while. I'll check back in when I'm done. Look at some of these pieces. The one that's kind of shaped like a heart is a grayish blue. They're so pretty. And this is a dangerous spot. And this is the pile that I need to go through. We're gonna take a moment to see what's on the other side of this wall, because I haven't even looked. Oh, wow. So pretty. It's getting hot, so I'm gonna get into the water, and then as I'm drying, I'll look a little bit more, but I'm gonna be picky on the ones that I grab. And then I need to get to the hostel because I want to shower and then just chill out before a busy day tomorrow. And I might want to come back here tomorrow. But again, I need to limit myself. It is the next day, and I will butcher how to say this, so I'll put where I'm at on the screen. But it took 2 hours to get here. I took 2 different buses, and then I had to walk 30 minutes down a very interesting pathway. Wasn't really sure what to expect, but this is it. And it's gorgeous. Are you kidding me? The water, and then over there, that's caves, and we're gonna explore them. It is supposed to rain today, but we're gonna make the most of it before it does. And I have my umbrella. And I made a friend. Hey, kitty. Yeah, don't touch me. I know, you're so cute. We've been playing a game of don't touch me. You're so pretty. Oh, hi. Hi. You wanna say hi? Don't worry, I haven't touched him or her, but she's so cute. And when I first got down here, she has been by my side. She's been rolling around. I got some good video clips of her or him. I don't know what you are. But anyways, let's go explore for the day. Here's just a quick little overview. So pretty. The kitty's following me. Oh my goodness. This is insane. And thank goodness we're going downhill now. Because in all honesty, going uphill, that first part was not it. I have no words because I'm literally just walking the streets on an island in Spain. Okay. Like, it's just what? We just came from over there and I've walked zigzagged all the way, and it should be this next left up here. I most definitely could have followed the shoreline, but I just sticked to Google Maps because I wasn't sure if there was going to be certain parts where the water was where I wouldn't be able to cross over. Playing it safe, maybe it would have been easier to just stay along the water. Oh man. Definitely looks like I could have. There's a pathway right there, but it's right over here. We made it. This looks so cool. Little heart. What the heck? What? Oh. Are you kidding me? This is sick. Oh my goodness. Okay, this goes like back there. I'm not gonna go back there, but this is just so cool. Are you kidding me? I climbed up these rocks and now I have this view. And then I have this view. The wind is definitely picking up. A storm is brewing. I'm officially leaving the cave. Very random and interesting. It's so fun. I'm surprised it hasn't started raining yet. I spoke too soon. It is starting to rain. It's really starting to come down. Coming down. It's lightly spritzing, so I started to walk, and I'm on the other side where these little cave things were, if you saw it in the distance. But I stopped at the restaurant that was down there, and they were setting up for people who are coming in for lunch. But I got a beer and I got those chips. I have donuts with me because I went to the grocery store yesterday and I wanted to get some type of breakfast snack since I wasn't sure what was all going to be over here, since I was going to sit underneath the deck. And I just grabbed a chair and sat, and the other people were sitting on the ground. But since there was one singular chair that was still dry, I took it. And then I sat there, and those chips were so good. And now I'm gonna start making my walk back this way. And this time I'm not taking the road back, I'm following, because it does go all the way back to where I started. It's been a while since I updated you, but it has been pouring rain. I've been in and out of shops, and then I made my way towards the cathedral again, and then I just wanted to walk along the ocean, so I did that. And then I came across this restaurant, and it was so good. I knew it was going to be a little bit pricier, but I thought I was going to spend a lot more than I did. But I got this big bacon cheeseburger with a side of fries and then a side of fruit, and then I got 2 glasses of wine. Everything was so good, and that fruit was so fresh, so cold. I just continued walking, and guess where I'm at? I don't think you can guess. I'm back at the beach with the sea glass. Are we shocked? No. No, not at all. There's not gonna be much of a sunset. It's okay though. Still really pretty. This is everything I'm taking back with me, and look at this. I found a necklace or bracelet, whatever it is, but what? That is crazy. So here's to me adding more weight to my backpack. We got a little color. It's actually turning out to be a pretty good sunset. Not too crazy, but still pretty. This camera can't zoom in, but it's pretty pink over there, and there's a little sailboat as well. It's the next day. I have no idea how I made it onto this ferry, because last night when I was trying to book this ferry, it kept giving me an error, and I was like, you know what, I'll just figure it out tomorrow. It didn't say sold out, and the other ones were showing sold out, so there had to be seats, right? Well, of course me, you know, I wake up. It took me an hour and a half to get from the hostel to the port, because I had to take 2 different buses, and there's multiple stops in those buses. I make it to the port. I kid you not, it was the longest line. The ferry's supposed to leave at 10. It is currently 10:39. While I was in the check-in line, it was saying there was no ferries available online, so I was like, it's probably sold out. But you know what? Let me just stand in this line and hope for the best. As I was getting closer, I realized, let me make it easier on them, because obviously I speak English and they speak Spanish. Granted, most of them do speak English as well. But I just wanted to be prepared, so I made this prompt and I showed it to the lady. She talked to the person next to her, and then she was like, she'll help you when she's done with that next person. I was like, oh no, I hope this is a good thing. I read my prompt that I typed out, and she was like, yeah, give me 1 second. I started click-clacking the information in, and she was like, it's gonna be 30:29. I was like, perfect, I'll take it. And so she finished putting in the information. I was like, oh, do you do Apple Pay? And she was like, I don't think so. And I was like, oh no, if this is cash only, I don't have enough on me. And she's like, we'll try it. And it worked. Thank goodness. And then she hands me the ticket, and she's like, okay, you're gonna wait in a line upstairs. The line upstairs, there was no line. It was just a room filled with people, and we were standing there, and I'm glad I wasn't the only one confused. But a lot of people are like, why are we not boarding? Because it's already 10, this room is filled. And then once it hit 10:05, they started letting people in. You had to go through kind of like how the airport is set up with the little what is it called, screening. Taking a little bit longer, but I made it on. I'm here. I put my bags in the storage bin in the room that I'm in, but I probably won't be there at all. And now I have an 8.5-hour ferry back to Barcelona. I'm probably gonna get food because I have not eaten anything today, and I've been standing with my bag on my back since 7:30 a.m. and it is now, like I said, 10:40, so a little over 3 hours, and my arms, my back hurts, and I'm sweating. I'm sitting on these steps, and this is my view. And it is now 11:40. I have nowhere to be. I don't even have where I'm sleeping tonight booked, which I'm gonna actually do right now. And if you're curious if I booked my accommodations for tonight, I have not. I'll probably wait until I get to Barcelona to do so. That being said, clearly I don't know where I'm going this next week, so who knows. But adios, Palma de Mallorca. Bye!